Give me a minute and let's talk about what's happening in the Avdiivka area. We know that the Russians have been trying to surround the city, right? There's been major offenses from the north and from the south, trying to pinch that 7-kilometer opening there and close off Avdiivka completely. They've made no progress. A couple hundred meters, almost a kilometer, 800 meters in the north, a couple hundred meters in the south. And so they've changed tactics. And now they're trying to enter the city directly from the east. And that arrow there, that Russian offensive arrow, and that little red X is what I'm going to blow up here next. I guess blow up is a bad word for this kind of discussion. I'm going to expand that area so we can see it closer. Now, right here, that area is where that automated machine gun nest was that we talked about in an earlier video. And then this area here is an industrial area that the Russians have been shelling for 30 days. I've mentioned before that the Russians were engaged in the process of just systematically, row by row, destroying everything block by block. And it was just explained to me this morning why they were doing that. They were doing it in an effort to remove any hiding places for the Ukrainian armed forces in that area and expand the gray zone, which they were successful at doing. After weeks and weeks of shelling, they had leveled block after block coming into the city here, and the Ukrainians decided with no place left to hide, they should get out of there. They should retreat. And in so doing, invite the Russians in to a place where there was nowhere to hide. And that's exactly what happened. The Ukrainians down here, where that automated gun emplacement was, the Ukrainians had pushed back and pushed the Russians out of there. They now have a force concentration scattered through here about like this. In the woods to the north, that forest, that's all controlled by the Ukrainians. And so as the Russians came flooding in, thinking they were making a breakthrough as they watched the Ukrainians retreat, the Ukrainians turned around and attacked them from 3 sides and decimated their forces. It is said the Ukrainians estimate that over the weekend, the Russians lost about 1,000 men here alone. And we have the video evidence of it. Now, I'm not going to show you the men lying out there. There's plenty of that crap if you want to see that kind of thing on Telegram. But what I can show you is stuff like this. This is a still from a video that the Ukrainians posted of a Russian artillery piece being destroyed. That was the first thing that they did, was they sent the FPV drones out and hunted down the artillery so that as the infantry came into this devastated area, they had no fire support. Then, of course, the mechanized units started coming in. And there's video of tank after tank, ISV after ISV, just being hit and destroyed as they enter into this barren, desolate wasteland where there's hardly anything left standing. And so the Ukrainians set a trap, and the Russians took the bait, and they paid for it with their lives. And this is the current situation in the southern front of the Avdiivka axis. I want to thank our very dear friend of the channel, Willow, for sponsoring this video. Thank you, Willow, for everything.